Meanwhile, Tata Power reported its highest ever profit after tax of 42.8 billion rupees for fiscal 24, driven by strength in its core businesses like generation and renewables, mind you. Shares are looking like this. I think the weight of the market is bringing down because it's had a decent run in the past, so minus 2% as we speak. That's been the opening for the stock in today's session. Joining us now to discuss more about the numbers and the earnings and the way forward in an exclusive conversation is Praveer Sinha, who's the CEO and Managing Director of Tata Power. The numbers look good, sir. Congratulations on that, Mr. Sinha. How do you look at the market response? Is it just one of those days when the market is down and so investors are just taking some profits off the table? Because if the numbers, if you've reported quarterly profits, record profits after tax, then the market should be excited.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on your show. You're right, the numbers look good, and this is also the 18th consecutive quarter where we have shown growth in profit. So what is important is to see how the fundamentals of the company is changing and what is the outlook. And I think the fundamentals of the company are very good. Our operations in all our businesses have stabilized. There are very good foundations laid for all of them. And I think what we will only see is growth going forward. So we will build on the strong foundation and some of the new initiatives and bets that we have taken, especially in renewable energy and also in transmission and distribution. More of that will happen in the subsequent years and subsequent quarters, and you will continue to see very strong performance from Tata Power going forward.
Indeed, indeed. And we're already seeing that. And like I pointed out, this is just some money, profit taking, money being taken off the table because last 12 months you've done really well. The stock price has gone above 100%. And this year thus far as well, the returns have been net positive, doubly so. I do want to get your sense in on what can we look forward to when it comes to the power generation story in India post-elections, as there is expectation of widespread reforms of the government in this area of building infrastructure, power infrastructure.
So what we have seen in last few years that the growth in demand, both in terms of energy as well as peak, has been growing at this pace of about 8 to 10%. Last year it was, last financial year, it was 8%. But last 2 months, March and April, we've seen a nearly 10% growth. The peak demand also has grown as also the energy. And we do see the impact of climate change where the demand is because of higher temperatures, the demand keeps on increasing. So also the industrial activity and the commercial activity. So I think we can expect that at least for next 1 decade, we'll have a huge growth in power demand. We still have one of the lowest per capita consumption, and I'm sure the way the industrialization is taking place and new investments are happening in especially new areas and new technology areas, we will definitely have much more power demand. To cater to that demand, I think renewable power will play a very, very important role. Tata Power is in the midst of the whole renewable journey. It does solar plants, wind plants, and now it's doing 24/7 renewable power solutions with battery storage and pumped hydro. So I think with the energy transition roadmap that Tata Power has set for itself, it will play a very, very critical and important role in the way the power sector transitions to clean energy solutions.
Indeed. We just, Mr. Sinha, had data out from China where the import numbers showed for the month of April a growth of 8% year on year. We were talking about how part of it could be stockpiling. Our colleague Samantha Varas, who covers the region, highlighted the efforts towards green industrialization. I wonder where India is in that cycle.
So India till now has been importing many of these things, whether it was solar panels or any of the battery storage solutions. We now have a lot of capacity that is coming up in the country. Tata Power itself has added a 4 gigawatt of solar modules and a 4 gigawatt of solar cell plant. The module plant is already fully operational, and the cell plant will become operational from next month onwards. So also we will find that large number of other industrial groups in the country are also setting up such similar plants. Also, there is a huge plan to set up battery storage plants in the country. Tata Group itself has the ambitious plan to, in the first phase, to put 20 gigawatt hour of battery manufacturing. And what we will see is that over a period of time, many of these things which were imported will start getting manufactured in the country. And to that extent, I think the import dependence will reduce substantially. But of course, this will take another 12 to 24 months.
Sir, can I just ask you, in terms of, I suppose what's been happening of late, whether it be, you know, tensions in the Middle East, the Biden administration and its policies towards, I suppose, energy at large. You just have to look at Venezuela, you look at Russia, you look at everything across the globe and all these dynamics that are in play. Are you expecting any kind of... And I know domestic pricing being what it is in jurisdictions can be ring-fenced somewhat, but are you expecting any kind of turmoil to come if we were to see a change in administration in the United States to energy markets at large, or uncertainty moving forward?
I really do not expect, but I have always been very optimistic that we will, and the globe will move towards clean energy solution, and the climate change is a reality, and we need to take steps towards making it more sustainable. And many of the steps that has been taken, whether it is the IRA or the CHIPS Act, will continue. They are already embedded in the industries over there. And many of the technologies where they are working on alternates to battery manufacturing in terms of looking at alternate chemistries other than lithium, that will happen. So many of the cutting edge technologies also are expected to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. And I do expect that whatever has been started will continue irrespective of what sort of government is there.
Sure. Mr. Sinha, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
That does it for today's show.
Thank you.
Capcom up next.